Now, for the Eastwood tool, this one's mainly for brake flaring, but this tool is great. Very easy to use, easy to set up, and quick and simple. You pretty much can't go wrong when you're making the flares. Yeah, it's pretty simple and easy. So we're going to show you guys exactly what that looks like. I'm going to set this up really quick in the vise, and we're going to do a quick double flare, and then we're going to be done with today's video. Okay, so I got the kit on the workbench. You'll take this bad boy out, set it on the vise, and this little bottom piece in here sits in the vise. You might make it nice and tight. So far so good. So then you have obviously different settings here, what size line you're using and what kind of flare you're going to use. The 3/16, and I want the double flares. Okay, so your line goes in here much like the other one, nice and easy. So we take that, and I'm going to try and get you guys as close as I can to the tool. Okay, so we pull this back, remove this little bracket piece. That's going to be what holds down our flaring. Make sure it's in the right way. We want the double flare side, so get your line in there. Get your line in there, and pretty much you could just set this in here like this is how I'll do it, and set that one on top of it. It's got a nice seated spot, so the housing only goes in one spot. And now, hold on, there's a mosquito. All right, so there's only one way that this housing fits inside of here to hold the line. So you can just kind of set this bottom in, and it really doesn't matter how far you put this in also, and I'll show you that why in just a second. I'll show you why this tool's a little bit easier to use. So get this bar out of here. Once you have your line in there, go ahead, clip this back down, put that through so it's held. Don't make this too tight, just snug it up a little bit, just like that. The line can still maybe move just a hair, no problem. You could see I can move it by hand. But the housing won't go any farther back, so then you go ahead, you put this in the tool, and when you push this, there's a setting here that's flat, okay? And what you'll do is you'll put it on the flat setting, you'll go ahead and pull this handle. When you pull the handle, it flushes the line. I don't know if you saw that, but I'll try and do it again for you. See if I can grab you the best angle on that. Okay, it's the flat setting here, and if the line's too far in, that's okay. You go ahead, you pull this, and you see it's just flushing that line exactly where it needs to go. Once the line's where it needs to go, and I'll do it one last time just to show you guys. Boom, very nice and easy. So it tells you exactly where the line needs to go in the tool. Once that's done, you snug this up, make sure that line's not going to move. You don't have to get crazy with it, but there you go. Then you have the room to turn the tool, and you've got all these different settings, but you got option number 1 for the 3/16 line. That's what you start with. You select that, line it up with the line, go ahead, pull the machine. And you gotta pull it until it bottoms out, nice and done. Okay, and then you go to option number 2, which is this one with the machine. Do it again. And that's it. When I pull this out, we should have a nice clean flare. Super easy, and I'll flare the opposite side just to show you guys one more time. Everything comes out, and voila, you've got a nice clean double flare. And it doesn't get much easier than that. You could see that took me literally like 30 seconds to set the tool up, to make the line and get it in there and get it done. But we got this side, and I'll do the exact same thing. And you have different options. You have your single flare, you have the double flare, the ISO, but this is one that's used more frequently, is this double flare, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know the technical name of it, but this is the one that we're always making and using. This is the one we used on the car in the video, so I'm going to show you guys that again. One thing you could get wrong is there's a flat side and a tapered side of this housing. You want to make sure you have the correct side down, so it makes the correct flare. So that's the correct side, you can kind of see, and that's the incorrect side. It's a little difficult to tell from the video, but we can go ahead and do the same process. Set that in there, make sure you're on your flat setting, put the line in, doesn't really matter where at this point. Go put the top piece on, Get that set down so that's all locked up. Like I said, snug this just a little bit so the line can move freely in the housing. Then go ahead, pull this. It'll flush your line up. That'll be perfect. Snug this up so the line doesn't move when you go to make the flare. And easy enough. You go to 3/16 option 1. Perfect. Go ahead, pull it. You'll feel it when it's nice and tight. Make sure you go all the way. Flip it to option 2. Go ahead, pull it. Nice and done. Loosen this back up. Flip it open. And we've got a beautiful line. And this one didn't come out perfectly because it was a little crusty on the end. When I cut it, I should have cleaned that up before I made the flare. But I'm not worried about it. You could see that it does the job, and it was really quick and efficient. I love this tool. It's a little bit nicer than the Master Cool for applications off the vehicle. But when you're working on the car, and you don't want to remove the entire line and you need to make a flare, I would definitely suggest using the Master Cool. That's it for this portion of the video. You saw how I use the tools. Now I'm going to actually make the lines on the car, or show you guys the video of me using the Master Cool on the car and a few more of these lines. I won't waste any time and we'll get right into it. But if you're watching so far, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I really want to grow the channel to 10,000 subscribers by the end of year 2024. Everything's been trending on the up and I'm just super excited about it. If you're watching, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching, guys. So if you guys are watching at this point of the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I've really been trying to grow. Give me a thumbs up in this video if you liked it. Leave me a comment in the section below if you want to know how I used any of the tools or what exactly I did there. I know it's a little complicated at first, but it's really an easy process if you have these tools.